Timothée Chalamet might be in a superhero movie. Yes, you heard that right. At the premiere for Dune Part 2, an interviewer from New York Times actually asked him if he would consider being in a superhero film, and this is what he had to say. He said that Christopher Nolan's The Dark Knight made him want to become an actor, and he said that he would consider being in a superhero film if the script is great. And that's despite the fact that his buddy Leonardo DiCaprio told him do not be in superhero films. So naturally, the internet goes absolutely wild because obviously he could join the MCU, or he could go to the DCU, or he could be a part of something completely different that isn't part of those two big franchises. So I scrolled through all of the comments, and the most popular answers were Nightwing or Harry Osborn. Now, Nightwing could be really interesting because you could start him off as Robin, obviously, and we know that the DCU Batman is going to be roughly about 40 years old, so for him to have Dick Grayson as Robin makes a lot of sense, and then he could become Nightwing. And I think Timothée Chalamet would make a great Nightwing. He looks the part, he can easily add muscle. There was a bunch of people complaining in the comments, he's too small. I'm like, have you guys never heard of the Hollywood recipe of chicken, rice, and broccoli, and then you magically gain 40 pounds of muscle? He could easily do that. And honestly, if he does become a superhero, I really hope it is Nightwing. I just think that would fit him perfectly. Like, you can't look at this photo right here and tell me that does not look like Dick Grayson. The second role that was brought up a lot is the MCU Harry Osborn. We know that Tom Holland's Peter Parker is eventually going to go to college in New York, and maybe that's where he meets Harry Osborn. And yeah, I really like this casting too. I think he would make a great best friend for Peter Parker, and I really like that casting. And knowing how the MCU works, how they always change things around from the comics, maybe he ends up becoming Venom, maybe Hobgoblin, maybe he becomes the Green Goblin instead of his father, Norman Osborn. I know some people are going to be really ticked off if Marvel does that, but they tend to do that. They tend to change things around a little bit and keep it fresh. And to be honest, I think that's the only way Timothée Chalamet becomes Harry Osborn in the MCU is if they promise that he's going to be like a big villain or something later on, because for him to literally just be the best friend of Peter Parker, I think is too small of a role for someone like him. But yeah, this is really exciting. He's open to the idea of being in a superhero movie, and that comes with endless possibilities because someone of his status right now could really play almost any character. But personally, I think that Nightwing would be the best option for him. Like he said, he really likes the Dark Knight movie, which is a Batman movie, which means he's probably a somewhat big Batman fan. And I think, if he got to be in the DCU Batman films as Nightwing, maybe he gets his own HBO Max show or maybe his own film too, who knows? I think he would be happy with that. And maybe he ends up becoming the DCU Batman after Bruce Wayne retires. Obviously, this is we're talking 15, 20 years down the line, so he might not even want to play the role that long if he even gets it. But I think it would be pretty cool, heir to the cowl, Dick Grayson becomes the new Batman once Bruce Wayne passes on that role. I think that would be a cool story, but this is obviously pure speculation. But yeah, Timothée Chalamet might be in a superhero film. Let me know down below what role you would like to see him in. Like I said, the big two that I saw in the comments was either Nightwing or Harry Osborn. I think he would do great in either of them, and I think DC Studios or Marvel Studios would be lucky to have him. Let me know who you think he should play down below.